All right, what's up? What's up? I want to do a little bit um, of a comparison with MLK and Christ, and not competing them against each other, but really using Christ as a measuring stick when we're looking at MLK, because the two of them do have a lot of similarities in just how they went about their life, how they went about their ministry. They both died in their 30s. They both died for the cause that they were fighting for. And both of them were individuals. When you read about MLK, they talk about, he grew up with depression. He grew up really, being of lowly spirit, being depressed, being somebody who struggled mentally with seeing the stuff go on in the world the way it was. He was really struggling with that mentally. They talk about, he was suicidal. He would go to the hospital a lot. He would be um, wishing to die. He would be in that mindset. And, when you read the Bible and you understand Christ, you realize the same thing. You see that he was somebody who was depressed, lowly of spirit. Somebody who often liked to be alone, left alone, but then he would come out when he was wanting to show love. It was basically his love and care for people that caused him to leave and go teach, and caused him to go and interact with people and recognize those who were in need. And another thing that's interesting about them is that they both of them had a ministry or a message that was really for all people. Like, the message of Christ was for all people. And if you look at what MLK was trying to do, he had a message for all people. He was up there in what was the speech in 1963 when he was doing the "I Have a Dream" speech. That's the one that's mainly known. And he was up there talking about black boys and white boys and little white girls, and like everybody's gonna be together, and we all can be together. And the message of Christ was the same thing. It was unity for the world. But towards the end of their ministry, if you look at Christ, like the night before he died, John chapter 12, John chapter 13, John chapter 14, John chapter 15, he's just sitting there talking to he's talking to specifically his group. He's specifically talking to, his disciples, the 70 disciples he had. He's talking to the people who were of his community, who had been following him, who were Jewish like him. He was speaking specifically to them. And even in the book of Acts, it tells us that his message was specifically for his group first, and then it was the rest of the world. And it's really interesting to understand that, because, the message, you can't go and spread a message of hope, love, peace, justice to the whole world when you don't first send it to your group or get it right within your group, right? And MLK does the same thing. He was sitting there trying to get justice for everybody. Everybody needs justice. He was a Nobel Peace Prize winner. That's a worldwide skill. He had been in the White House, but the night before he died, he's sitting there talking with his people specifically. He's in the church house, and he's sitting there saying, we have difficult days ahead, but we as a people, we're going to get there to the promised land. He said, we as a people. He wasn't talking to all Christians at that point. He was specifically talking to his people. He said, we have difficult days, but we as a people going to get to the promised land. Right. And that's the same thing. Christ is sitting there the night before he dies, and he's telling his people, there's many more things I want to tell y'all. Y'all not going to be able to understand it. Like, y'all not even ready to understand what I'm trying to tell you guys. But, there's going to be difficult days ahead. There's going to be trying times. There's going to be troubling times. That's what he's telling his disciples. It's the same exact thing that MLK said the night before he died. MLK was there the night before he died to work with those garbage workers. 2 garbage workers had died. And he was there working with, basically came out to Memphis. Everybody around MLK was like, don't go. Like, why are you going? Don't go over there. Don't go. They're going to kill you if you go back. Like, there's no need to stop what we're doing. We're doing a worldwide mission. There's no need to go back to Memphis to really deal with these 2 garbage workers who died. Like MLK, you doing big stuff right now on a worldwide scale. Why are you going back there for these two men? And MLK is like, this is what it's all about. It starts with my group. This message I have for everybody, justice for everybody, begins with justice for my group. And my group, those men back there in Memphis, got killed because there was no justice for them, because they weren't allowed to be inside, in a segregated work area. And so when you see those similarities, it's really, really unique, but you have to take that understanding that both of them got to a point in their life where they just decided they were going to sacrifice their life for their cause. I tell people all the time, at some point in life, you're just going to be who you are spiritually. You know, at some point in life, you're going to just be what you choose to be. You're no longer going to be able to blame, you know, what happened in other relationships, situations, parents, history, the past, what you don't know, your own shortcomings. You won't be able to blame anything. At some point, you're just going to be who you need to be, or you're not going to be who you need to be. Either you're going to align yourself with what your purpose is, or you're not going to do it. You know, but you know, it's no wait until 40 and then you get together. I'm waiting until I get to that. Either you going to do that every single day and be about it, or you're not. That's the reality. And Christ and MLK, they both are examples of when you sacrifice your life. Christ sacrificed his life for his cause, and he started with his people, and then from that you see Christianity is all over the place, right? And it's been all over the place in different ways, and Christianity is different all over the world. It's all types of different. Christians here will watch Netflix for a week. Christians in India are getting killed, you know, every day. So Christianity is different all over the world. Christianity is, you know, there's a basic fundamental understanding that everybody has all around the world with Christianity. But remember what Christ says about the Spirit. You know, Christ in John 3, he's talking about the Spirit. And he says, when the Spirit gets in somebody, it's like the wind. It goes wherever it needs to go. Once you get that Spirit, you know, you can have that foundation of Christ's words. But once you get that Spirit, it ain't no telling where the Spirit's going to take you. You know, Christ, or MLK, I should say, was a preacher. He was a spiritual teacher. He was somebody who would stand up in front of his church and speaking the Bible to him. But the Spirit had him speaking to his people. We as a people gonna get to the promised land. We have to do this. It wasn't white Christians and Asian Christians all relating with him when he said we as a people. He started speaking specifically to his people and saying we have to get there together. And then he died the next day. He died the next morning, just like Christ did. Okay? So it's rest in peace to Martin Luther King, and rest in power to him, and respect to him. And we got to continue to live out what he was wanting us to do. And we as a people have to continue moving towards that land. That's why I always say you have to visualize the future. You have to visualize where you want to get to. He was able to do that. There was more he wanted to say to us that night. He was like, I'm not going to be able to, but you got to tap into that spirit and understand what he was saying. All right. All right. Blessings to everybody. Blessings to everybody. Stay safe.